Let's look at how functions can have multiple returns. We have already seen a function, the add function, with a single return, which is returning the sum of two numbers. So let's create a function which can have multiple returns. So our function name is verify age. And the function takes in the age as a parameter, which is of type integer, and it returns a string. All right. So we are declaring a function. The name of the function is verify age. The only parameter you can pass to the function is age, which is of type int, and the function must return some sort of a string. Right now you can see in the output window in the console that it is complaining, and it's complaining because it's saying that you are saying that the function will return a string, but you're not returning anything. All right, so let's go ahead and return something at least. So we are going to create a string message, and we are going to, or we can simply say return hello world. And now the function does not complain anymore because now we are satisfying the conditions of the function. Basically, we are returning hello world. Let's go ahead and call this function. And you will see that when I'm calling the function, it automatically knows that I need to pass in some sort of an age, which is of type int. So let's go ahead and pass 10. And you can see if I call the function on line number 14, it actually returns hello world. That hello world right now, I can't really access it because I'm not really putting it inside a variable. All right. Remember that when you call a function and it is returning something, in this case a string, the value goes on the left side of the equal to sign. There's nothing on the left hand side, so value is kind of lost, in other words. So we can go ahead and change that. So now when the function returns something, it's going to go into the message variable. And now every time I use a message variable, it's going to print whatever verify age returned, which in this case is hello world. But we were talking about multiple returns in the function. So let's go ahead and build that. If age is less than 18, return you are not old enough, else return you are, or you can say you are old enough. All right. So what's going on is that when we pass in age 10 and it goes over here, it checks. If the age is less than 18, then it returns from over here. It returns you are not old enough. And once the function returns, it does not execute this line anymore. All right. So if I pass in 45, you are going to see that the else block gets executed and it says you are old enough. Now this all works fine, but usually it's not a good idea to be returning so many different, have different returns in your function, right? I mean, sometimes you will run into a situation where there's no way out. You have to have multiple returns. But in this scenario, we can actually improve it. We can say, or we can create a variable called message, and we can initialize it as an empty string. And on each of the conditions, we can assign the message that we're trying to return, the string that we're trying to return, to the message. So over here also, I can say message equals to this. And what we can do is at the end, we can simply return the message. So now you can see that instead of having two different returns, we only have one return on line number 16. Having one return as compared to 2, 3, 4, or 10 returns, the few returns that you have, it's much easier for you to read the code. And easier for you to read the code and easier for your fellow developers to read the code. All right. So try your best to have as fewer number of returns as possible. All right. And that's pretty much it. Play around with it. I know that we did an example in the control flow where we were returning if less than 18 and if there was a certain range of ages that we were checking. Go ahead and implement it with multiple returns and see how you can change it to have just a single return. All right. That's pretty much it. Hope you like this video. Thank you very much.